Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I was thinking what I could have done better after the Bluebird and CRISPR surprise or shock. And it occurred to me that I'm not doing a daily technical analysis, so I'm not giving myself a chance of being at least a little bit in sync with the market. Earlier, I used to do technical analysis video on a daily basis, and that used to keep me in sync. But I stopped that because many of you prefer specific videos, like, for example, if I was to do a specific video on CTX 121, you guys would like it. But if I was doing technical analysis video, many were not watching it. However, one of our older subscribers, Max, had said that, Raj, I come to your channel only for genomics technical analysis because nobody else is doing that. So I think I'm going to reinstate the technical analysis. I will keep all the other programming as it is right now. And on top of that, what I'm going to do is on a daily basis, when I do my technical analysis, I'm just going to record and put it out here in the channel. So it'll be all my thoughts when I'm looking at all those indicators. And you guys can also give me your feedback, and we could probably have a little bit of discussion every morning, say somewhere in the first half of the day, so that we can make something useful out of whatever indicators we are seeing. With that, my friends, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. First, I would like to go and have a look at futures as usual. And for that, I'm going to go into... So here we are in the TradingView platform looking at NASDAQ futures. It's around 9:49 a.m. NASDAQ futures are negative 0.22%. And let's go to look at what's happening with our QQQ. And you will see that in QQQ, we are in this area which I have marked as a sell area where the share prices are likely to come down, the index is likely to come down, and we are seeing that there is a bit of a drop out here. Still, the bulls are trying their best to push it up. It's an inverted hammer out here, and our RSI is almost overheated and cooling down, and MACD is bearish and moving towards the signal line. So bulls are trying their best, in my opinion, to push further up, but this is coming down here. And if we were to look at the futures as well, let's just briefly go back into NASDAQ futures. It's a delayed feed. There, it seems like bears are succeeding in pushing down. So we'll have to see how the rest of the data shows up. And let us look at VIX. The VIX is continuing to go down, but the MACD is still bullish. The momentum is a bit weak, but we are still lower than where we were yesterday on VIX. That is more conducive for share prices going up, not for coming down. But yet we are seeing that NASDAQ is marginally low, and S&P 500 is also low. Dow Jones is just below the resistance after going up. US dollar index is coming down, and if we were to look at US oil is kind of range bound out here. It has dropped significantly from yesterday, and MACD is also bearish, and momentum is also weak. Yesterday, as I mentioned, I bought a little bit of Exxon because I'm thinking that there'll be a rotation coming in place and oil should go up. If we go to put call ratio seems to show 0.95, so it's neither here nor there. It's undecided. If we were to look at companies in S&P 500 whose stock price is above that 20-day average, we are seeing a little bit of a bump out here. And if we look at the ones which are near their 50-day average, again, we are seeing a bit of a bump here. So what is happening is that the Magnificent Seven, or the big ones like Apple, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, these are not the heavy lifters anymore. They are dropping. There are other companies which are actually pushing up the value because they were undervalued. And if I look at FNGU, it's got a negative of 0.08% as compared to where it closed yesterday, even though the candle is green. If you look at Apple, it's got a negative of 0.54%. Yesterday was a sword kind of doji, but today we are way below where we ended yesterday. So Apple is definitely going weak, and Meta also is below where has started below where it was yesterday, and then it went up. Meta has got strengths because I think the Threads app is also picking up a lot of subscribers with the debacle of X. So that is definitely feeding in. The cloud and AI aspect also helps Meta. And if you look at Google, they had a little bit of setbacks with their AI, and that has given them a whole lot of weakness. Today also they are down minus 0.97%. Then Microsoft is down minus 0.06% as compared to yesterday, and Amazon is down 0.17%. And all of these are good companies, but I think they have already made a huge run, and they seem a bit rich in valuation. And given the fact that the inflation is not going down as fast and wages have not gone up in order to compensate for the purchasing power that was lost, I think we are going to look at the next year or the next quarters with less consumer capability to sustain the levels of purchases. And therefore, most of these companies are going to have weaker performance. And that would mean lower share price. And share markets are usually forward looking. So I'm expecting that these companies like Apple, Meta, Google, Microsoft, all these are likely to perform less better than the others. They led the NASDAQ to the top, S&P to the top, but now they are just moving sideways, whereas the other companies which did not gain much in the past are now pushing the index up, while these Magnificent Seven are gradually losing their value. If you see here in Amazon, you can see a whole lot of clustering, and slowly it's because the price band is becoming very narrow. And I think that given the weak MACD and the dropping momentum, Amazon might go down. Microsoft is also likely to go down. Google is also likely to go down. Meta is also looking weak, but Meta's momentum is picking up. So among all these, I think Meta has got some more juice left. Apple also is on the way down. So overall, if you look at FNGU, which is a triple X, that is showing a bit of a positive, but I think the story basically is others pushing the indices high. Now let's go to our genomic stocks, which is what we want to see here. And if I'm looking at Bluebird has lost further. It had a momentary blip where people thought they were buying at the bottom, and then it has come back down again to 2.88. I think Bluebird is on the way down because there is going to be equity dilution, and they need to generate money in order to sell their SCD product, and I don't think they have that money on hand. So they are in dire straits. Maybe somebody might acquire them. If the news comes, then the share price might go up. So we'll have to watch this share. It's now very speculative at this point of time, so I won't touch that. And then if you look at Invitae, it was down minus 5.31. Prime is down minus 5.03. Allogene is down 4.58. And if you look at DNA, Ginkgo Bioworks, it's down another 2.94%. I think Ginkgo is on its way to become a penny stock. Illumina is down 2.62%. And Caribou Biosciences is down 2.12%. And it has entered back into the bear channel. It has tried many times to break out, but it is coming down back again. I will check this at the end of the day, or tomorrow we'll decide whether we want to make this green line of support into a green line of resistance. The day is still young. Verve is again, it has dropped 2.01%. And Intelia has dropped 2.15%. ArcG has gone below the level of support out here. I'm just looking at the support. It's at 28.02 and ArcG is already at 27.96. Again, I'll revisit this tomorrow. PSEB is down 1.91%. It is following the superior bear channel. It's on the way down decidedly. So even if I was to think of this as a bull flag, it has been consolidating quite a lot. So I don't know whether it's still a bull flag because it has curved around and it's coming down. Next, I'm going to look at Beam Therapeutics, which is again shown a lot of weakness today, down 1.39%. Then we have CRISPR, which is down 1.31%. And it's getting support from 59.23. I do not see a reason why CRISPR should drop so much. The TD Cowen price target was $30, and I don't know how. I still can't wrap my head around the TD Cowen analysis because even when we were before the FDA approval, we were never close to $30. The closest we came, I think, was $37. Now they are saying that the value of CRISPR after approval of Casgevy and after getting around $1.9 billion in their balance sheet is $30. And I don't think they have taken into account the TDT. And I want to show you some user comments, which I think was very insightful. So here is one comment that has come from Anirban Ghosh, and he says, "Hello Raj, amazing videos as always. I'm not sure about PT end of this week, but I do believe that shares will be $85 to 100 by Q2 2024. So basically he's saying he's not sure about the price target for end of this week, which is what I had requested, but he thinks that by Q2 2024, this share CRISPR will be at 85 to 100 with catalyst including EU approval. The Cowen analysts had not talked about EU approval. They didn't talk about UK market. And then he goes on to say RSA approval and March approval of BT. So there is approval in the Middle East as well, where there is plenty of money and there can be a lot of sales out there. TD analyst has also not taken into account the international coverage of Casgevy. SCD patient in RSA and the Gulf countries should number around 100 to 150K, and governments there should have no issues to pay the 2.2 million price tag. Also, Reshma, Dr. Reshma is the CEO of Vertex, and she mentioned in her CNBC interview that there has been unanimous enthusiasm for Casgevy from all stakeholders, including payers. I saw that interview. Yes, she did mention that, and she estimated that the lifetime cost of sickle cell disease was 4 to 6 million without factoring in the humanistic cost. So why wouldn't payers want to pay 2.2 million for a cure, which also happens to be 50% cheaper than lifetime cost? And I would like to add that which also happens to be 33% cheaper than the alternative that comes with a black box warning for cancer from FDA. The other one I want to talk about is Michael Mathoff. He says, "Thank you very much, Raj. Van Buren, this is the TD Cowen analyst, is definitely wrong. So this makes me not upset. Blue is no competition, much more expensive, not so well organized, and the black box warning. You are right. This analyst is crazy." So I think that gives me a little bit of sense of sanity, because when I make videos and put it out there and I give my thoughts on it, and then I come across an analyst like TD Cowen Analysis, which says that the target price for CRISPR is $30 and that it's not going to sell much, I feel absolutely shattered. I mean, I don't know whether I'm awake or I'm dreaming. So let's move on from CRISPR to IMATIX. IMATIX is also down 1.3%, and Bionanogenomics is down 0.71%. It's almost at the very bottom of the chart. Editas, which had gained a lot in the speculation that they may come up with a court case, that did not happen, and Editas price has dropped 1, 2, 3, 4 candles. Now it is ripe to bounce back from a support of 9.65 or at least consolidate out there. That's what I'm looking at. And let me see, where is my RSI? So here we are with my RSI out here. And as you can see, Editas is just above average, and it's gone flat out there. So people are thinking about this, what to do. And I think today would be a narrow price band at the end of the day while they try to figure out what is happening. MACD is definitely bearish, and volumes are yet to build up, but I think it's in the right track. We'll find out what happens tomorrow morning. Vertex has done better. It opened higher today and came down, but it's still above yesterday's closing. So that's a positive for Vertex and for Gilead also. Gilead is a very strong company, and I think it should do very well. It also opened up higher and is starting to come down, but it's still above yesterday's closing. So overall, this looks good. Now, I want to show you the stock heat map, and you can see that the Magnificent Seven is actually not influencing the market much. Meta is almost flat. Microsoft is also negative 0.13, whereas Google has dropped significantly 1.06. Apple dropped minus 0.59%. And of course, the big news is the bad outlook from Oracle. And Oracle has dropped almost 10%. That about. Let us look at the semiconductor area. Nvidia, which was flying high, has been almost static for quite a while. And then we have AMD, which picked up significantly and was close to a resistance, is now down minus 0.77. So across the board, you see a lot of reds out there. And there are some which didn't do very well before, which are now picking up. And that's why the number of companies about 20-day average is going up. And let me take you to the CME group. This is the market tool, Fed Watch tool. And after today's CPI, the expectation, the probability of interest rate range between 525 to 550, which was initially at 90.8% on 10th of November, which went up to 96.04% on the 5th of December 2023 and went further up to 99.8% on 11th of December 2023, has marginally come down to 98.36% as of today. So, as I mentioned in my last video, the market is expecting 5 rate cuts of 25 basis points each. And the Fed has telegraphed 2 rate cuts of 0.25 basis of 25 basis points each. And if anything that the Fed says today seems to make it seem like there is not going to be 25 basis point rate cuts, then that's going to be a problem. So the question is that Fed has only indicated 2 rate cuts. But if the future language for Feds, when they talk about the future, if they hold the rates right now and their language kind of indicates that they are going to hold the rates for much longer, that would mean that the 25 basis point rate cuts that the market expected would not happen. Probably it will go to 4. When such a thing happens, the readjustment happens, then there will be a drop in the indices. So that's my understanding, the way I look at it. And if you look at the consumer price index, the message was that US CPI inflation softens to 3.1% as forecast. So whatever was expected is what happened. But I think what the actual real world is looking for is relief for the consumer. The consumer has found that their purchasing power has gone down significantly, whereas the wage has not gone down as much. And as a result, the real wage is real purchasing power is less. So in my personal opinion, I think all the inflation coming to the level that is forecast is nice to see. But for any real impact to happen in real life, I think the inflation has to drop. And if the inflation drops and the price of groceries and those kind of consumables and rent and other things go down, then I think we can say that the Fed would feel comfortable reducing the interest rate. But I don't think this cuts it. We'll have to wait and see what Chief Powell says later today. I think he's going to speak at around 2:30 or something, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll have to see what he has to say at that time. So the market is still in flux. Whatever we discussed has changed already. QQQ is starting to go up. And you will also see that the Magnificent Seven are back in action. So there's some kind of strange rotation taking place. So I don't know what's happening in the market, so I'm going to stay on the sidelines. You guys can put your comments and let me know what you guys think, and we'll take it from there. So this brings me to an end of this video. So I'm going to be watching more than doing anything else. I'm not putting any more money in the market. I'm going to continue staying on the sidelines because I think if I don't understand what is happening, then I should not be investing. I should not make any moves. So I'm not going to do anything. The only thing that I might do is I would like to buy back the covered calls that I sold and close out my position, and that's what I'm going to work on. And the bottom line today is that I think Bluebird is bad, and CRISPR definitely has way more value than what TD Cowen said. I agree that somewhere in 2024 it should be in the $85 to $100 range in the first quarter of 2024. It looks like that to me. It has got a bounce back in place. It should come anytime now. That's my feeling. So with that, my friends, I'd like to finish this video here. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now, and thanks for indulging me.